Alright guys. That's a bit funny. Alright guys, it's Clown and Ruby. And the Clown Ruby podcast, it's been a while since we've done a podcast actually.
It's been what, like 3 weeks?
Something like that. Like, we only just got our schedule sorted.
It's been 7 days, I tell a lie.
So
it feels 3 weeks.
Yeah, it feels like it. Maybe it was 3 weeks for videos getting uploaded because like we had a 3 weeks break and like,
which we did mention in our last podcast why we had a 3 weeks break, but
yeah,
didn't go into too much detail.
It's like now like we've got a schedule, so like you were saying, are you in love with the Xbox? Like we've got a schedule. We've got a fucking schedule.
Yeah, but you've uploaded your video for the day.
Yeah.
What more schedule have you got? We're not uploading 60 times a day.
Tuesday, I still need.
Yeah, but you said you're not uploading Evil Within, which is Tuesday.
No, I'm
you said you're not uploading it at the morning. You got to edit in the morning. But
yeah, edit and do my voiceover. But
to be quite fair, right? So I can see our schedule for here, which I've sellotaped. It's fucking beta. We've wrote it on a bit of paper and sellotaped it to my wardrobe. But our schedule is basically, so Monday on my channel I'm doing The Runaway Teen, which will be uploaded at 5 PM, and you're doing snooker compilations, which will be uploaded at what, 1 PM I think you put?
Yeah, 1 PM. Yeah, I can't remember if it's like 2 PM Eastern time, something like that.
I can, like in Spain, so they're ahead of us by 1 hour, so in Spain it'll be about 2 PM.
So yeah, about that. I've also set the language for my snooker compilations to Japanese, Korean, Chinese, American, because for some reason it has an American option.
Because they pronounce words different.
And also down as like India and stuff like that. So it's not because I want the attraction, it's just I had on a previous video, so it was held for review because I don't know if it was a spam, but it was somebody that was from Indonesia and they were speaking in their typing in their language, so I didn't get it, so I put it as Indonesian.
Tuesday you're doing Evil Within at 8 PM. I'm not uploading on Tuesdays because I want to set my videos as like give myself a few days to kind of prepare videos, and
yours is a lot longer.
But so yeah, you're doing Evil Within at 8 PM, and then the Wednesday, which I know this is Monday, shut the fuck up, we haven't started the schedule yet, but Wednesdays it'll be podcast days, which will be
this channel.
On this channel. What time does it say?
Anytime.
So anytime basically.
But that'll change later. It'll change in a couple of weeks or a month or two. We do not know what's happening in our personal life, so we don't want to get into it. It's nothing affecting our relationship, although something to do with the family. Well, your family, not mine.
That's saying, like, where this whole situation happened, which we didn't go into too much detail in the last podcast, but if you want to kind of know more, go check that podcast out.
Yeah.
But with everything that's just happened, so we took a 3 week break, which, to be quite fair, to me felt like fucking 2 hours, but whatever, it was 3 weeks.
To me it was, I'll say this for instance, actually I'll let you cover on first.
But yeah, we took a 3 week break. Not going to say too much. I don't want to say like that it was heartbreaking or anything like that, because I don't want people getting the wrong idea. No one died, so you know. But yeah, so we took a 3 week break, and I feel like just we had to come up with some sort of schedule to get us back into the swing of things. So we did upload. I uploaded a speed build to my channel, but you uploaded a snooker compilation about a week ago, and like we just haven't really got back into the swingy things yet. We're kind of still trying to juggle video ideas. And
I also was devastated that I had to delete a video It was the first part of Evoing. I had to delete it because I tried. There was a copyright claim with music in the game, and it wouldn't mute it. We tried it when it first went up. We tried to mute it, and then I was editing videos. I just
That's saying that could have actually been because when I had chose to mute the video or mute the music in that video, I had closed the browser, and I think that's why it's not went through.
But it doesn't matter. I started again. Evil Within will be every Tuesday, and I'm doing another game that's very special to me because it was probably one of the first pre-ordered games I got, and it's called For Honor. And if you don't like it, I don't give a shit. I enjoy that game.
You're not even at that about the schedule yet.
Yeah, no.
Skipping ahead.
That's later on.
So Thursday, you're doing a stream of Code Runner Correct
Resident Evil
9 PM, and I'm doing the Legacy Challenge at 8 PM. So my kind of thought process with separating the days is one, so I can plan more videos and fill up the schedule a bit, but also the Runaway Teen and the Legacy Challenge will both be streamed. They will only be recorded and videoed and put out because I feel like they type of videos just take so long to edit.
Yeah, and if she goes away from the mouse and keyboard, she's AFK. That means she's gone out for a fag with me. AFK away from
that's the thing. I normally just say fucking I'll be back in a minute and then I storm off, but
if you see that, I'd probably be like that if I need the toilet or if I'm going out for a fag.
That's the thing. What I might start doing on my streams personally, we could actually do it on the podcast as well, if people didn't want to miss what we're talking about, we do like a 10-minute like bathroom break where we can go out for a fag and go to the toilet, and then we come back and they're still here. So everyone like that's watching and tuning in can leave and go to the toilet for 10 minutes and then come back and without feeling like they're missing it.
Yeah, but if you wanna follow my stream, which is Code Runner Corrects, which is Wednesday,
Thursday 9 PM.
Right, Thursday, that is Faded Clown Ruby on Twitch, and that's my own channel, that's not both our channel.
That's saying we can both technically still upload it, but I have my own Twitch as well as my own YouTube channel, so I'm trying to kind of juggle both. But whenever I film a video from my YouTube channel, it always gets uploaded to ours anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say that, so I do have my personal one, which is called Clown Classics, and it's just basically going to be like short videos. I haven't got any plans for that yet. Like, I've got the plans of short videos, but I haven't got any planned videos for it yet.
That's saying I think you should have really uploaded your snooker shots to that channel.
Nah.
Just as like short wee compilations or wee clips that like wouldn't make it into a video.
They'll get edited down later on. Like every video that we've done, I'll be doing a personal video of my own for me and you, but that's going up on Clown Classics. That's not going up on our channel. That'll be a year one. I'm only call it year one of us starting our YouTube. So there'll be clips from the podcast. There'll be like mini videos, you know, funny stuff, maybe glitches as well if I find a glitch I think's hilarious.
Right, so Friday is my Willow Creek renovation build, which I started like 6 months ago, maybe just less than that, and I still haven't finished it. But the problem is I reset my computer, so I've completely lost that save, so I need to go back and see what build I was on and then move on. But you're doing For Honor, that'll be at 5 PM by the way, I forgot to mention that. That will actually go out as a video, not a live. But you're doing For Honor at 10 AM on Friday, which will be 11 AM
Eastern time.
Eastern time.
And Saturday is an update video where we talk about what games we're going to do next, or if anybody is on our gaming channel, like drop a comment saying what
That's
games
thing,
you want
even
to
if
see.
you're not even on our gaming channel, like if you're coming for this channel and going over to our gaming channel, like leave a comment on the videos, or like even on my channel, like what you would like us to you would like to see us do together and separately.
Well, I am gonna at some point take pictures of every single game we can download on the Xbox, and I'm gonna put it as a video, and it's gonna go in order, like from name and order, so it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just drop the number and the initial of the game, the two initials. So say for instance, if it was Batman Arkham Knight, it'll be BAA, and then
BAK.
BAK. Then I'll know what game it is, I'll know what number it is, and I'll start doing uploads on that.
So that's basically the only video for a Saturday, and then I believe a Sunday where that's going to be like an editing day. So if we have videos we film throughout the week that need edited for the next week.
If you've ever played Fallout now, like it's an awesome game, I love it. I've already recorded some of it, so that'll be the upload, so it'll be a pre-recorded. I might actually start doing commentary videos on some of my videos that I do myself. I was thinking maybe Evil Within will get a commentary
That's
video.
saying this is why I prefer to stream, because one, it just
stream.
no, but you can technically, you can do it on Twitch and I'll download it and upload it, but this is why I personally like to stream, is because I didn't have to edit, which just makes my life a lot fucking easier. And it's funny if like I'm talking away and I stutter, like that just makes me laugh, like seeing my fuck up in videos. But
there'll be a compilation of your fuck ups.
It'd be so funny. Like what I might actually do for my channel is, like, if I'm building in The Sims, or if I'm filming an actual video and like I fuck up and I cut out that bit, like I might just put that as like a compilation of just me stuttering.
I'll do some of my funny videos. Like, to be quite fair, like we did have a bit of a, well, it wasn't a bit of a deal, like we had a bit of a bicker earlier about me and the Xbox. Like, the thing with me playing snooker, like I'm very passionate about snooker, and when I was younger I wanted to be a snooker player anyway, but I just couldn't get on to the team. I'm not that great, but I know my orders. And today they brought out, the other day they brought out a new update saying that they're fixing all the issues with AI in the game. Basically, the AI in the game is designed like the statistics, or how do you say it?
Statistics.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, right, so basically they analyse the player. Like, so I'm playing as my favourite character at the moment, who I'm playing as on my personal career for the compilations as well, is Sean O'Sullivan.
Which is literally the only person you played at since you got the game.
Yeah, no,
but that's because you, like, he was the only one you really knew about.
No, I know Sean O'Sullivan, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like,
Trump, Mark Silver.
He's the only one that, like,
I've played, but I know all of them. But there's new.
That's saying, like,
the only
I didn't mind snooker. It's just like I just can't get the hang of it. Like,
it's easier. It's easier to remember. If
any person that used to play it,
any person knows, right? This is, if you want to know about snooker, it is red balls and then colours. So it goes yellow, green, brown, pink. No, yellow, green, brown, blue, pink, black. Right? That's how the order is. You get a red ball in. It's a bit like pool. There's red and yellow.
I've never played pool.
Right, there's red and yellow. If you put the red, you're always red. If you put yellow, you're always yellow.
That's saying, like, I know all of that shit. I'm just saying, like, I can't, especially on the Xbox, like, if it's on a mobile or a tablet or whatever, like, I can get that kind of, but, like, on the Xbox, like, it's just so like, there's so many buttons on an Xbox pad that I just can't get it.
It was never like that, that's the thing. Like, I remember the Y button being the top down view. So when, like, you were looking at an angle, you'd be like, right, there's top down view. And you can see the whole table, and you can be like, right, I can analyse the board so I know where to, you know, the white ball is going to go. But the thing with that one, like I was saying, they take statistics, sorry, that's how you say it, of the player in real life and put that into the game, right? So Ronnie O'Sullivan nicknamed the Rocket because it's like...
Because he's a fucking rocket.
Well, he pretty much is. He went against... I can't remember who he went against, but it was in one of the World Championships, right? He literally had full board. The guy goes, right, he was at break, so he got break. So he hit the ball, it hit the red, and one of the balls came out of the cluster. That was the red ball. Ronnie from top belted this fucking white ball, went straight in. The red ball went straight onto the black, hit the black in. It was like at a tough, very tough corner. Hit the black. It bounced on the two corners of the left pocket. Right, bounced bounced back and forth, landed in, but the white ball hit all the cluster, so the red ball's just split. And he cleared the table, and the maximum you can get on the table is 147 points. He got every single point.
That's the thing, I just didn't get how people, not just you, but people in general can be so passionate about games to the point where it results in anger. Because,
yeah, but I'm saying,
like, with me, I'm passionate about Sims, but if my Sim dies, or they lose their fucking job, I ain't gonna crawl and cry about it. Like,
with Sims, it's like, it's a fun game, but with Thingy, if you're playing snooker, you wanna win.
Like, but bearing in mind, snooker, especially on the Xbox, you can literally go back to the main menu and retake your shot.
Hey, don't tell people my shit.
Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
You can, but not only that, it's just like, I might actually put that.
Ken, what's actually funny, right? You make a mistake, or you'll just get really pissed off with it. You'll hit the ball, miss a hole on purpose, and then be like, there you go, faggot, have it. And then when they do get in, you get so mad, and I'm like, you just gave them it in a fucking plate.
What happened earlier, what pissed me off is, like, your family got involved with this fucking... that's the thing. He had no right to say, because, like, he asked you. He was talking to you. And then he asked me. I was sat playing the game. I'm perfect fine with getting pissed off with myself.
That's it, right? So, my problem is, and this is why I get so, not necessarily angry, because I didn't get angry with people, unless it's one specific person who I'm not even going to get into it, but, like, I didn't get angry with people. I didn't like conflict. So, like, when he's on the game, I just let him shout and shout and shout and shout, and to the point where, like, I'm literally not taking any of your piss. I will fucking throw you out my house quicker than you could walk to the door.
Yeah,
like,
but I'm saying,
but
like,
that's saying, like,
I snapped, right? This is the thing. I snapped, but it went like I was like, babe, it's
No,
your
but
fucking fault.
No, but you've not explained why you snapped. So basically, my brother come in the room, right, and he asked me if I'd after something. He got sunburn, right? He's a bit pussy like that. But he come in the room, and as you do, fucking ding dong over here, shouting and screaming at the game. And I said to my brother, I was like, oh, this is what he does when he gets his ass whipped on snooker, as a joke. And then like, he fucking was like, no, it's a fucking piss take, blah blah blah. And then Lewis was like, because I said that, like, it come across like he was talking to me. And so my brother, being the older brother and trying to, you know, stick up for his wee sister, because he kens I'm not going to say anything back, he was like, if he speaks to you like that again, I'm going to, like, kick him in the nuts, or whatever he said, right?
And knock his block off, he said. That pissed me
like off. I was like, well, this is what I put up with on a daily basis, because it's true. And I'm not just aiming this at you, because Mason used to do it or not, and it used to really fucking wind me up.
I get
because the thing is, right, when I'm on a game, like, for example, I've been playing Tomb Raider, the anniversary edition, and the first ever boss I think it is in Lost Valley is like a fucking Velociraptor or whatever it's fucking called, right? I cannot get past that bitch. You're not using my new ones.
Well, I can't find the other one. Look at that.
I don't want to see your toes. But basically, I can't get past this fat fucking Velociraptor or whatever he's called. So, like, I get annoyed at it, but I'm the type of person that's like, right, I'm getting pissed off now. I know I'm getting pissed off, just turn off the game. Yeah. There's no point. I've got other games to play, so it's not like I'm going without it.
So, what it was when, like, I was angry, I needed a fag, I could tell, but it was like, I'm gonna wait a sec, take this shot, which I was doing alright. What got me is I was going against this fucking prick who I fucking morally hate now, and I mean generally in real life as well. Judd Trump. He hit the ball and he snookered me. He put me against the fucking black. Right? And because this is how garbage Snooker 19 is, with it fucking stupid aiming shit, and it's so called like supposed to be realistic simulation. No, it isn't. There was 2 red balls that I could hit directly to the left and the right. Can't do it. You cannot do it anymore. 2006, one of the best fucking snooker games they ever fucking brought out. Perfect. Could get every shot in. Could win every game. Never get pissed off with it.
Ken, what actually annoys me the most, right? So we basically stay with my mum and dad now because we're getting our own flat. And as soon as my mum and dad are in, quiet. As soon as they fucking leave, this cunt shouts louder than fucking he normally does. And he, like, I was listening to music earlier, and I could barely hear the fucking music because he was shouting his head over there. So I had to turn the music up, and then when Lewis left, and we were sitting like bickering about it, he was like, well, because I said to him, like, if you keep shouting like that, one, I'm not getting a noise complaint, my mum and dad are, I've got neighbours. And he was like, well, they can hear your music. I was like, I turned it up because they can hear you fucking thinking you're getting bum-fucked in my room.
But that's what happened anyway. It was like, it was behind the black, couldn't get out of the cluster, so I was getting angry. Yeah, I suffer with ADHD, I've told everyone that. But I'm not the type of person with ADHD to get up, right, and smash the fuck out of my TV.
I wish you would, because then you would have nothing to play on.
Smash the fuck out of the controller, whatever, right? I get angry at myself, or I get angry at the game, like they know what I'm saying. But, you know, it's me. I get angry like that. And then when people are like coming in and they make a sarky comment like Lewis did, where he's like, oh, knock his fucking block off. What? I wasn't even talking to him.
Aye, but to be quite fair, like, all day literally since 7:30 this morning, since we woke up, you've been in a shitty mood. Yes, you have. Yeah. For no reason. You woke up and you've been like, you'll roll me a fag and you'll be like, here. And I'm like, what's the fucking attitude for it? I did nothing.
No.
Like, there's certain days where, like, everyone has good and bad days, right? I get them a lot, but with me, I have terrible mood swings. Like, terrible mood swings. And I don't care if it's just hormones or if I'm just fucking dodgy like that. But I've got terrible mood swings. And, like, I get a pissy attitude. But, like, I didn't wake up in the morning and just be like, wow, I'm fucking ready to fight some cunt. Like, he'll wake up and he'll just have an attitude for no reason, and I'm like, really?
Anyway, off that subject, I was angry earlier, end of, that's the way it was, fucking happened, but alright, now, doesn't faze me, if you know what I mean. It's not like it's a crushing fucking blow to my fucking life, like I'm hanging between.
But even still, when you were, like, earlier, when we were bicking about it, he was like, well, I'm not having two people gang up on me.
Yeah, I had two people, had you and Lewis.
I wasn't ganging up on you, I said fuck all to you.
There's Lewis, like...
Lewis, maybe, but, like, Lewis is the type of person that's, like, one, he forgets his own fucking strength, and I know that personally, because I got brought up with him. But Lewis is the type of person that hears anyone just losing the heat. Like, he's just ready to fight. Like,
yeah,
and Lewis has really bad ADHD as well, but Lewis is more the hyper ADHD compared to the angry one. But he's like, Lewis will say shit and never follow through it. Like, Lewis will say he's got to stomp your head down. He'll never follow through it.
It's not the point. It's just not the point. I weren't speaking like that.
Aye, but the way you say things, it comes across like you're constantly just on your fucking high horse at me or at someone else. Like, it constantly sounds like you're having a go at me.
Yeah, but anyway.
But I can guarantee if my mother was there, he wouldn't be fucking shouting the way he was. She would have come through and beat you with a slipper.
What are we on next? That's the update done.
So, questions for each other. So basically, we've been watching all Steve-O, his podcast called The Wild Ride, and he asks like questions, and I feel like we just kind of fucking the words and just fucking start rambling about shit, but we never actually sit and have like a proper conversation where we ask questions and shit.
Alright.
So I thought we could just ask questions relatively about anything, about each other's life before we met, or like
our
favourite stuff, like games and stuff like that.
That's the thing, like, you've told me most of the stuff. Like,
you'd be surprised.
Not all of it, but I'm saying, like, the way you were in school, like, I believe the way I was in school, like, me and Cole wouldn't have been, like, together. We wouldn't have spoke. She probably would have even, like, not hated me, just tolerated me.
That's the thing, like, in my school years, so mainly for high school, so S1 to S3 maybe.
Raging face.
But I always have a raging bitch face. But
yeah, that's true.
Basically, like, I was very quiet. I basically kept myself to myself. I had a very, very close-knit group of pals. And
are we taking a break?
Should we take a toilet break? How long are we going for? Half an hour. We'll go for a toilet break. I'll finish my story when we come back.
I do need the toilet, so that's why.
Right, we're back. Toilet break over, kids. Sounds a bit creepy. But basically, as I was saying, like, I was quite quiet in school. Like, I had a very close-knit friends. Like, didn't really go out that circle. So I had about 5 or 6 mates that I would hang about with in school all the time.
So is it me now? So yeah, I was a bit similar. Very shy. I was very antisocial. Like, I always had my hood up. Never had it down, even when I had a haircut.
It's because you've got curly hair.
I used to complain about it.
Even though I do like your hair.
But this is the thing, my mum used to say it to me all the time. She'd be like, right, you wanted your haircut, and then you got to school with your hood up. And my mum used to work at my school, so she was a cleaner, and then she turned into a dinner lady there. And I used to see my mum at school all the time. I had my hood up 24/7.
I've actually got a story about my primary school years, but I'll let you finish.
But yeah, I was very antisocial. So I met my best mate Matt when I was in year 8. He became my first best mate. Hung out with him all the time, even after school. He lived in the same village as me, Hebden Bridge, so we used to hang out all the time. My cousin's girlfriend at the time, Poppy, I used to hang around with her all the time. I had a very close knit group of just mates that like I hung around with every day, but like my best mates were Poppy and Matt, so it was always them. It was, and my other mate Briggs there. Like.
That's the thing, like, I was kind of the same. Like, my 2 best mates that I hung about with all the time in school was Jonathan and Jay. They were always at school because they were good at 2 shoes, and their mum didn't want them to fail like I did. I dropped out at like 14. But yeah, like, I had a close knit group to the point where, like, if one wasn't in, I most likely wasn't going in.
Yeah.
But it was very rare that happened. It was mainly me not turning up and the rest of them going and being like, where the fuck's Nicole?
Yeah.
But talking about your mum becoming a dinner lady, right? So my mum is a dinner lady now. She's like a supervisor in a school.
Oh, my mum went
But my mum's been working as a dinner lady for like 9 years, right? So that's how she's built up to the supervisor. But in primary, so I think it was about primary 7, just before I went into high school, so it was about the start of primary 7. My mum was a cook too at that point, so she was prepping like meals and stuff, and she was like doing a shift in my school, so she was working there for a few days because one of the lassies in my school that worked there, she was off, and she was working in my school. And you know when like your mum or a relative works in a school, or like you see them at work and you put your hood up and like you do what associate. Well, I was complete opposite. Like, instead of my mum embarrassing me, it was me embarrassing her. Yeah. So like if I saw my mum like at school, I'd run down the dining hall and be like, Mum! And just like completely embarrass her. I'd actually done it once in B&M as well, which is like a UK version of like Walmart or Target or something. So I was like in B&M with my mum, and my mum was walking in front of me whilst I was pushing the trolley, and she had walked down the toiletry aisle, and I'd spotted at the corner of my eye adult nappies, and I just shouted to my mum, I was like, Nikki, do you need adult diapers? And she just literally, she turned around and she stuck her finger up at me, and she just walked away, her face was bright red. And then like the whole way around the shop, Ken how like in Family Guy, Stewie's like, Mum, Mama. I was just saying that round the whole shop. I was like, Nikki, and my mum hates it when I call her a real name, so I was just doing it to wind her up. Got in the car and she was like, you're a fucking pain in the arse. I was like, well, one for the best.
That's the thing, my mum used to not embarrassed me, but like my mum is a big kid herself, so it's like me and my mum are best mates. Like, you know, I tell her everything, not about my sex life obviously, but like we have, when me and my mum are together, like it's one big laugh. Like I'm always laughing or smiling at something my mum said or done. But my mum's the type of person who would go into like Primark, right, go over to the most ridiculous outfits you can find and be like, you'd suit this, Owen, go and get it on. And like, she did it once when I was in Newcastle with her, walking around, and it was like a day before I went down to Suffolk. I moved down there for a while, and my mum's in the shop, and I said to my mum, you know what, you need to buy me like some drink, you know, so I can get on the train and get down there. Obviously I had someone picking me up, but I was like moving away, so I was like getting emotional, but like that would help my anxiety. So mum's like, alright, I'll buy you a drink. She goes into the shop, buys like £1 Sainsbury's beers, right, that are like 1% alcohol, comes over to me and goes, that'll get you drunk, right. She's embarrassing me in the shop, like completely, like saying to the ladies like in there, as a joke, she was going, oh, he's single, he gets pissed after like 1% of alcohol, he's alright. And I'm like, Mum, shut up. And another time my mum we went out, and she got a ballerina's dress, but it weren't like, you know, them, what's
a tutu?
A tutu, and this like dress that was like yellow with brown spots. And she went out and she dressed up for Halloween as like this yellow dotted fucking weird thing, but it was funny. But my mum never really embarrassed me. Like, we had a lot of fun, and I love my mum for that. Like, being a big kid like me, and she's obviously into anime, so.
What was one thing that your mum used to hate you doing?
Oh, that's easy. Fucking literally not. My mum would ground me, right? Window, jump and land on the ground.
That's the thing, I could do that, but my buckets underneath, so I get clothesline.
Well, I would say it's just where the handles are. That's about the height as it was, but like we had grass and then stone going up, like two, you know, them red bricks with like holes in it. It was like them, and then concrete, and then like a little path that went around. But my mum was building a pond in our garden, so like where the pond was, she just filled it. She had the tarp going under, and she just filled it with fresh water. And I didn't know, and my mum's like, get to your fucking room. I'm like, fuck. She was looking at the recent history. After she was like looking up something, I can't remember what it was for. She was like looking something to buy, but she found the history, and she thought it was me because I was the last person on the laptop. But I think I was playing like Star Wars Battlefront back then. And my mum found it and was like, get to your room, I'll fucking sort you out later. You're not having a laptop ever again. I'm like, fuck you. It's like, grab my phone, grab my weed, grab my fucking backy. Mum didn't know I smoked then. Fucking jumps out the window, landed in this fucking tarp. Have you seen umbrellas where they go like that, straight up? Literally, I went straight through the tarp. I went straight up. My phone's fucked, my back is wet, my fucking weed's gone. And I was like, fuck! Just got out of it, ran away, didn't go back for another 2 weeks, and that was one thing my mum hated.
That's the thing, like, my mum could never ground me, because as soon as I got to high school, like, I didn't leave the house. Yeah, so it was like,
you're grounded.
That's the thing,
I'm
like,
already in my bed.
That's the thing, like, with me, so I was never like a bad kid, believe it or not, believe it or not. But I was never like a bad kid. Like, I smoked at a young age, which is stupid, but my mum didn't find out till I was like 16. But like, and I hid that fucking well, trust me. But like, I wasn't a bad kid, so she didn't have to ground me. But there was like, if I swore at my mum, like, she would be like, who you fucking talking, like, because she knew she couldn't ground me, so she'd just stand and argue with me. And I'm like, Mum, you're not going to win this because there's really nothing you can do. Like, and my mum never ever hit us.
No,
like, so lifting a hand, like, for my mum and dad, like, they never hit us.
That's the thing when it's like what Dad said in his podcast, when your mother just has that stern fucking look. It was my mum when she did that. You knew you were fucking dead.
That's it. Like, my mum would give me that stern look. You know the look where, like, if you pissed off a mum and she just looks at you with like dead evil eyes.
Yeah, like
my mum would give me that look and I'd just laugh in her face. I'd be like, what are you gonna do? Like, the only thing you can do is kick me out, and you're not gonna do that. So, mainly because I'm the only child that's mental.
My question. So what did you hate about school?
The people. Literally, like, my teachers were alright. There was a few fucking pillocks. Like, my old... Now, I probably shouldn't be saying this, because if you watch this, he's dice close to me as well. But Mr. Coburn, the one that we saw running on the path.
Oh, he seemed alright though.
He's alright now. Back in school, fucking knobhead. So, in school, I had him as my guidance teacher, which, if you didn't know what a guidance teacher is, it's like your personal education teacher. So they teach you like sex ed and stuff like that in high school. And I had him from S1 to S2.
So a year, there's one.
Well, 2 year, because the full S1 and the full S2.
Oh, right, yeah.
But like, he was just a cunt. Like, so I had crippling anxiety in the start of high school. I didn't want to leave primary school. And at the middle of S1, everyone that I was mates with in primary school started making new pals. Right. And because of my anxiety, I didn't want to make new mates. I just wanted to be around the same knit group. But, like, obviously I made a few of my new pals and stuff like that. But basically, like, my mum, so if I had skipped a class or if I just left school early, like, he would phone my mum in for a meeting with him, the head of my house. So in our high school we had like houses, so there was Rayburn and stuff like that. So I was in the Adams house, and it would be my guidance teacher, the head of the house, which was Miss Stewart, she was actually sound, the head teacher, and a few other teachers, like a few of my class teachers, in a meeting every single week without fail. Like, at least 3 times a week my mum would have to leave work early to come to this meeting. And it got to, so there was one time specifically, I had basically just like walked out of class. I think it was actually when I swore. So I went in school fucking raging mood, hadn't slept that night at all, like, just I was like a bull that's all red, like I was ready to kill someone. And I'd went into this class, and I think it was like just after break, and it was French. So I walked in the class, and my mate Gabby purposely fucking trips me up, so everything falls out my bag. And me being a female, obviously I had sanitary products in there, I had like a bunch of sweets, which would be quite fair. I was more raging about her fucking dropping my sweets.
It's like nanny in a woman's bag.
But like, all my sanitary products, my sweets, like everything went all over the floor. And I went to Gabby, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And she was like, I didn't mean it. I was like, didn't they fucking mean it? And then I slammed my chair into the desk, and I turned around, and the teacher was standing behind me, and she was like, Nicole, don't use that language in my classroom. And I just went, fuck off, slammed the door, almost broke the glass bit of the door, and walked out the room. And like, fucking had like deputy heads, as they call them. They basically act like school police officers. They have the radio in hand, they're like, over fucking Nicole's done a runner, blah blah blah. But one of them specifically, she was following me around the whole school for and times, and like she was just getting so pissed off with it to the point where she was like to the teachers, like, if Nicole's having a rough day, dinna phone me. Just dinna phone me. I cannot be arsed coming into the school to hear the same sob story about my own child. Like, and at this point, like, I had really bad anxiety. I was self-harming, which is like the worst mistake I ever made. But there was one time as well where Mr. Coburn was like, I'll get you an out of class card, which is a cardboard green card that just says out of class, and it had your name and the teacher signed it on the back. And he was like, I'll get you an out of class card. And I was like, right, fine. And then one day I'd come to school with like a tubey, it's like a stretchy tube grip for your arm, like when you've sprained your arm and stuff like that. And I was trying to hide self-harm, and I was walking down the corridor next to the classrooms, and he comes out his classroom and he's like, Nicole, what have you done to your arm? In a crowded fucking corridor. And I was like, I fell, obviously, and then I walked away from him, and then he pulled me up about it the next day when I was in his class, and he was like, Nicole, why did you fling me a deefy yesterday? And I was like, you know exactly why. You know what I've done to my arms. There's no point of you fucking pressuring me about it. You're just embarrassing me in front of the school now. And then he phoned my mum in for another fucking meeting, and by this point my mum had found out, which wasn't a necessarily a good fucking thing, but my mum had found out, and we were in Mr. Coburn's classroom for this meeting, so it was just me, my mum, and Mr. Coburn, and I'd had my sleeve like hiding part of my hand so you couldn't see them, and my mum was just, so like he was trying to get some information about my, like he was basically saying like that my home life was shit.
Yeah.
Like that's what he was getting at. He was like, so has anything happened at home? Has anything happened between you and like our dad? Like stuff like that. And I'm like, you really try to say that my mum's given me a shit upbringing? Like seriously. But my mum was like, she's gone through a lot and stuff like that, and then my mum just looked, she didn't even look at me, she just looked straight at him and went, Nicole, show him your arm. So I showed him my arm, and I was literally like from the wrist all the way up to like my forearm, so like in between like the crevice in my elbow on the inside was like just hacked up completely. And then after that he literally just stopped pressuring me all the time. He stopped getting my mum in for meetings and that. And then I got a new PSE teacher, and she was just fucking amazing. Like, he said that he was going to get me a fucking out of class card in S1, and in S3 when I got this new teacher, she got me it in like fucking 3 minutes. Like, it literally took that long for her to get me one. She got me fucking school counselling, she got me an out of class card, she got me a toilet card, she got me like stress balls and like stuff to fiddle with in class. And like that was one of the things that like really changed my perspective on school, like because primary school was never like that. I never went through the hell that I went in high school and primary. Like primary was just the time of your life, whether as soon as you got to high school, like especially my school, like I got bullied. Like literally the first day I turned up at that school for a first full day, so when I first properly started school, so we get our 3-day visits, and then I think it's like a few months and then you start. The first ever fucking day I turned up at that school, like 2 random lasses come up to me and they're like, you're Nicole, Lucy's wee sister, someone's been spreading rumours about you. And I was like, really? Because I just turned up and some cunts already chatting shit. But at this point, like, I had really bad anger, so I was just ready to fight anyone. But what was your worst experience at school?
I think it's when I told you about David.
Yeah.
I had this guy called a bully called David. He terrorised me all the way through like primary school, all the way up to year 8, and he actually once tried to shove my head down the toilet, but failed because the teacher came in. and they did fuck all about it. They're just like, oh, they're just boys doing boys. But I do remember meeting an Irish lad called Isaac in school, and the worst thing was we became best mates in the first 2 days of him being at that school. We had a fight, like a proper fight, punches, kicks, everything. He kicked the fuck out of me, and I was like, fucking hell, it was a good fight. But when we're in, because in primary school you had the head teacher's office, the registry office, and then like the dining hall. So it was like 2 double doors and you're straight in the dining hall. And we had like a little waiting room, and it was just 2 chairs and a table. And we had to sit there, me and Isaac, on separate chairs, obviously.
He's just sitting on your knee.
But we had to sit there, and we, like, I apologised to him, he apologised to me. It was always something stupid. It was, I think he pushed me in line, so I pushed him back. And then we became best mates, and like a couple of months is us just chilling out in primary school together, like hanging out, playing football, making up games and stuff like that, as you do when you're younger. Like, we used to play toy soldiers, where it's like both army men and like fighting people. And it was his last day, and it was like his last day there. He didn't stay that long. He stayed for about half a year. And worst thing was, we planned to play football together. It was like the first time we were ever playing football together. I get to school, he's gone. He's like disappeared. He went back over.
That's the thing, I didn't think I really ever had that. There was 2 people that left my primary school. Nadia, me and her were best mates. She ended up at Craig Royston primary school, I think. And another laddie called Roy that was also mates with, but he ended up going to Broughton, and we ended up becoming mates at Broughton. But like, I didn't think I really ever had a mate that I was like super close with, to the point where it was like I got upset when they left.
It wasn't that, it was like I had a lot of good mates like in primary school. It was like it was like planned, so it was like we became best mates, if you know what I mean. So I can technically call him my first best mate, but actually my first ever best mate was a kid called Michael McCann. And like his dad, we used to go to each other's houses and have dinner, and my mum knew his dad, so that's how I met him. But like, it was stuff like that. You meet people like that and you just have memories of them. Like, I have a lot of memories with Isaac and like Jordan Gale, who used to live near us and stuff, but he actually ended up being a prick. But the worst time I've had in primary school was actually not David the boy, was actually when Jordan Gale, we used to sit next to each other at dinner, so like separate tables, so he would be on that side, I'd be on this side, like over the table, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to point it out to the viewers. But like, I would eat my dinner and I would sit with him and I would talk to him, and he'd be like, oh, I've got this, do you want it? And me being a kid and being like, well, I don't really get much dinner, I'm hungry, so I'll take it. And it ended up being that. But he went home and used to say to his mum that I was robbing him, like I was mugging him, like full blown beating the shit out of him for his food. So they end up, like the school end up isolating me from everyone else, right, and put me at a wee table with nobody around me. I had to sit on my own, and that was one of my worst experiences.
That's the thing, like my first ever best mate was Holly Gallagher. We were best mates in nursery. Literally, we were like two peas peas in a pod. Like, you just couldn't separate us. We played together in nursery. We fucking like helped prepare lunch in nursery. Like, we were always together. And she's actually doing very well now. She's qualified in hair extensions and eyelashes and that, so she's doing really well. But yeah, she was my best mate. But I didn't think I ever really got in a fight at school, like, at all. Like, there's only one time. Like, my primary school was worst, right?
That was going to be my question, like, how many fights and arguments have you had in school?
Well, primary school was worst because my class was, like, so we had this new lass join called Georgia, and before she come along, everyone in my class was best mates. Just everyone got along. Boys and girls, we just all clicked.
Yeah.
As soon as she come along, she, one, didn't want to speak to anyone. She didn't want to be mates with anyone. And I'm the type of person, especially in school, like, I just wouldn't give up. Like, I wanted her to be part of our group, so I kept picking it. And she ended up becoming mates with me. But she's the type of person, especially back then, she's completely different now, because she's got a fucking kid and everything. But, like, I'm the type of person that wants to be mates with everyone, whether she was the type of person that wanted me to be her mate and no one else to be mine.
Yeah.
And it just caused so much fucking uproar. Like, there was one time where Georgia got in an argument with another one of my mates, Abigail, and like, they were just at the whole break and the whole lunch, and they just wouldn't fucking shut up. Like, they just wouldn't get up. And me and my other mate Kate are like the type of people that's like, right, we'll be mates with you, but we're not getting involved in arguments. If you's getting an argument, that's between yous. So we go back up to class after lunch, and the teacher makes every single girl in that classroom sit on the floor, fucking cross-legged and everything, whilst all the boys are in the background snickering at us all. And like, some lasses are fucking bawling their eyes out, like, fucking greeting, like, apparently Georgia said their mum was a fat cow or something. Like, something so stupid. And the teacher was like, this all stops now. And I was like, miss, do you really think this has got to fucking stop? Like, and that night we went to a youth club called FET Law, and FET used to be fucking minted. Like, you would literally, like, it was basically like a building that was literally about to fall down. Like, it was that old. But like, we'd go into FET, and there was a hidden room with a pool table in it. No fucking pool cues or pool balls, because they all got broken. But there was another room that had like padded mats, kind that you would get in PE.
Yeah.
And lastly would do gymnastics. Like, FET was just a fucking ball. And it continued into FET, and then Abigail and Georgia got in a fight and both got kicked out of FET for that night. And like, Georgia was like saying to me, like, Nicole, you have to stick up for me, blah blah blah. And then Abigail was like, Nicole, if you stick up where we can't be pals. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why are you all coming for me? But ended up they sorted it anyway. Like, the next game night we went to FET, and they just got told before they even stepped foot in the building, used to have to stay apart. And so, like, there were, every time we were at FET, there was one group, like 3, that were allowed to go up to the FET office, which is where, like, obviously the managers of FET and shit would work. But they would obviously, like, they were the youth workers as well, so they'd all be hanging with all the barons, whilst we were up in the office. So me, Georgia and Adam went up to the office and we just listened to music and had a laugh and a joke, which I've actually still got the pictures on my Facebook for. But there wasn't many fights. I've never been in a fight personally. I've been in arguments, almost got in a fight with Jay, to be quite fair, before me and her become mates. Almost kicked her fucking face in, but I didn't. We ended up becoming best pals actually. But I've never really been in a fight. Been close to a few, but like, that's the thing. When I first started high school, I was like, I didn't really want to get in a fight now, because then, like, I'm going to get excluded, and that would be the last thing I want. So didn't really get in many fights.
I've been in a few. A lot of the time it was. So you see, we had the HBC, Hebden Bridge Crew, and I can't remember what they used to go by, but it's the Todd lot. This beef has gone on for fucking years, even before we were bearings. And we don't know what happens, but like most of the time it's like they were coming to like Hebden, and these are the type of people that are fucking absolute pussies. And I'm talking people that grab a baseball bat or grab a knife or like grab anything as a weapon to have one fight. And they don't just fight one on one, it's more like
16 on 1.
Yeah, it's like that. But my cousin used to run the crew, and I wouldn't say run it, he was more, everybody went out. He was the funniest guy and the most approachable guy, and probably one of the loyal person out of the group that everyone went to. And me being his cousin, it was like everyone, after my cousin passed away, like everyone fell down on me, and it was like, oh, you're John's cousin, aren't you, so can we hang out with you and stuff, because for some reason they felt protected. But that's the way Todd was. But we didn't go to like other areas like Manroyd or Halifax or like Todd ourselves to start fights. Like I think there's only been a handful of times we went to Todd, and that was to go to the fair. But when we went to Todd, it was like strategy board fucking game. Like we went as 5. So like 5 would go up to the train station, which is like in the centre of Todd. 5 would go to the market in the centre of Todd. 5 would go near towards the end of Todd. We used to take it in shifts, you know, who goes to the fairs, and then 5 used to go to the fairs. And we did that because we knew for a fact if any of the Todd lots saw us, we're having a fight.
That's the thing, that never really kind of happened around here. I feel like, so obviously there's like YMD, which is Young Mental Dry Law. There's I think Pilton and Muirhouse are. There's Leaf. There's stuff like that, but we never, like, we weren't allowed to go into one area. Like we were all just kind of like mingled together. Like especially this area, like Muirhouse, Pilton, and Drylop, they all used to work together. Yeah,
that's the way it was. It's like with us, like my room, like that, like it. We class it as like their crew because they're called the Banksy crew. Actually, I do remember that Banksy crew. Like we were all some with them because we all went to school with them, so we're in the same school together. So if we had beef, like we could just go to Banksy and like, you know, sort it out, man.
That's the thing,
that's how it was.
I didn't actually ken who started Young Mental Dry Law. I'm assuming it's fucking decades ago. But like nowadays, it's like the people around the corner. I'm not going to say names because
it started.
I know them well.
HBC started over really a mistake, because like the thing that happened wasn't consensual, and like them spreading it around, it was basically a picture of one of our friends' boobs, nudes basically, that he sent around to everyone, and she didn't want that. So for us, we were like, right, we need to sort this out. Yeah, we did stuff to him that on my part was like, yeah, that is bad. When I look back now, but at the time it's like you put fear in someone, you're not going to do it. It's like, for instance, like Batman. Like Batman uses his tactics for fear. He puts fear into people, fear into the criminals, so they don't come back as bad as they are, if you know what I mean. So it was like that. We put this fear into this one lad, and he did do it again, but we became mates with it.
That's saying, like, it never happened like that with us. Like, if your mate's nudes got about, that's their own fucking fault.
Well, it's
like, if she's sending nudes or he's sending nudes, that's his own fault.
What happened? We were at a party, right?
I think you've told me this anyway. I know what happened.
At a party, she falls asleep on the couch. She had a top on. She's completely passed out, and I mean, you could touch her like that and she won't wake up. But she's always been, like, Poppy's always been a heavy sleeper. But he pulled the top up, pulled the bra up, took the photos, and then went round to his mates, whose mates were me and my cousin. Turned around to my cousin and said, "Oh, I had sex with this girl last night, she was fucking amazing." None for a fact. Well, he knew that my cousin John had a girlfriend, but he didn't know which one. And so when he sent the pictures, we recognised it. Well, he recognised it. And then he got around, and the dude was on the bus. Josh was on the bus, and there's 3 of them. Basically caught him. They fucking booted him down the stairs, dragged him off the bus, fucking hung him over the fucking bridge, and then, like, that was it.
That's the thing, like,
and then
stuff like that happens a pretty sick amount, like,
yeah.
But like, we all, I shouldn't say we, because I didn't, but most like, the people round here didn't like the police, mainly because they're either fucking drug dealers or own drugs or something.
Basically what
but
it was, but
even still, they would still be like, tell the police that's sexual assault, getting fucking done properly.
That's, I think the idea was that, but then it changed from that to, because it was my mate Jay who saw him on the bus. Like, he's sat at the back and he's texting away, and Jay's at the front with with Matt, sorry, and both point out, send me a message and then send my cousin a message, and basically it was, "Oh, we found him, he's on the bus," and Poppy was unaware what was going on, and then it was my cousin's, like, he was like, "Just do it." So they gave him a pop, he went down the stairs, they dragged him off. My cousin, like everyone else, went to where he was, hung him off the bridge, left it as that. But my cousin was saying to Poppy, "Do you want to press charges on him before I do this?" And Poppy didn't say out. Poppy was too upset to fucking say out. She just left, so it was like, what the fuck?
She probably just left because she knew what was going to happen, didn't know what to witness it.
But like
that saying, if that happened to me, now I've had a lot of fucking shit happen to me, but if that was to happen to me, like, I wouldn't want anyone to get hurt. I wouldn't even want to press charges, I'd just let it be.
I don't
like,
think
people get bored after a while of staring at this fucking same nudes, so...
Yeah, but I'm saying maybe that's what it was, but I don't know, it was just, that happened anyway, and the newspaper found out, they got the CCTV on the bus, and I went there. I think Jay got a fine, and that was it.
So technically, no justice was served, and you basically had to pay justice for beating someone. Well, not you, but Jay did.
Yeah, but I think it's only because he was caught with his... Because he used to wear, like, not balaclavas, but it was like...
Buffs.
Yeah, the basically went over your face. Yeah, basically went over your face. It's for when you were skateboarding, you know, you get fucking if you're going down fucking dirt roads like we did, like downhill, you're getting fucking stones twatting you 24/7. Or if you're riding dirt bikes, which we used to ride dirt bikes, so we used to have them for them as well. But like, yeah, he was the only one who got fined. But it went on to the newspaper and it was like, HBC attack again. And then it came up with this date in like 1975 where someone else got like stabbed and mugged, and it was done by like Hebden Bridge crew, and that's how HBC was like formed from then. Like it was formed like that. So like,
still see it kind of waste of time. That's
the thing.
With people like that, it's just like, to me, it's just like I wouldn't even waste my fucking energy.
Yeah, but
like they people just deserve to be fucking hung, let alone fucking have a wee bit of fucking punches to the face. Like,
but I think what basically happened after my cousin died, like HBC was dead anyway. Like nobody was going around going, "Where the HBC crew? Yeah, check us out!" Like none of that fucking bollocks. Like we didn't say we're HBC. All we said, we're skaters. We're on the skater park.
literally no cunt says that. Like if you're, say if like, so I was brought up in Dryllo, so technically I'm part of the YMD, right? But like no one goes around and says, "Oh, I'm part of this. I'm part of this bit." Like the only reason YMD is still popular, and like if you're walking past you'll see it spray painted on a building, is because the way they spray paint it to some people look like a cool tag. That's it.
But I'm saying, like, we had friends that
unless they're in beef with some cunt for a different part, and then they'll spray paint it on their building and be like, haha, YMD was here.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, our friends, like, we had a lot of friends that were great graffiti artists. They even had in Hebden Bridge, they had like the graffiti walls, fucking amazing designs, and they actually they drew out HB, like they put Hebden Bridge, and then underneath it was Skate Crew. But the reason it was called Skate Crew, right, is because they had a skate competition down there, and nobody had a name for Hebden Bridge, so they just said, "We're the Skate Crew."
To be quite fair, see the next time we're walking to like Craiglee for that, I'm going to take a picture of the graffiti on the bridge that you walk under, and I'm going to post it on our Patreon. So if you want to see that, check the Patreon out.
But yeah, like there was no, like we're not classic.
Anyway, we better move on.
We're just skaters.
To the questions. Actually, you wanted to ask a question that results in this next one.
Alright, who was your celebrity crush? And a crush in school, but like
that's it. You already know technically my celebrity crush, which he kind of fell off the face of the planet, but you know, which is Bam from Jacka. I can't say his second name, so fuck off.
Margera.
Bam. Yeah.
One of my favourite skaters. Johnny Hawk.
Cool.
Bob Burnquist, Mike Raleigh, and Bam Margera are all my favourites, but Mike Raleigh's my top guy. Like,
that's the thing, it always used to be Bam when he was like doing the funny shit for Jackass and things like that. But
yeah, he's handsome. He's good looking.
That's the thing, I feel like the first movie, and I think was it the second movie he was in with Ryan Dunn.
Yeah.
They two.
Ryan Dunn,
like,
believe it or not, Ryan Dunn is a handsome guy.
That's the thing, like after they two, like the first movie and the second one.
Rest
like,
in peace, Ryan.
After that, like I kind of stopped watching Jackass, and then they brought out the third one and now the fourth one, which I have been watching, and we've been watching Steve-O's podcast as well. So him interview them all.
Who's your favourite now that is no Bam?
Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, I was going to say, because everyone points out like
either Johnny Knoxville or Steve-O. I'm tied between the two. I feel like it's Johnny Knoxville first, then Steve-O.
Mine's, if it's going by 07 or 8, if Ryan Dunn was still alive, it'd be Ryan Dunn, Bam Margera. Well, no, Johnny Knoxville, Ryan Dunn, Bam, then Chris Pontiac. Yeah, that's how.
Yeah.
Then Steve-O, but then Wee Man. And then
That's the thing. Mine's has always been Bam. Mine would probably be Bam, Johnny, Ryan Dunn, Steve-O, Chris Pontiac, and then Wee Man and Preston. Probably.
I do like Preston. I like him now.
But to be quite fair, they have brought in a lot of new crew to number 4.
Yeah, like
so Poopies and what's it?
Jay Lightning.
Wild Aaron or whatever he's called. Danger Aaron, that's one.
No, Danger Aaron's been here for fucking years.
Oh aye, he was in the
first season. Dave England, I forgot about him. Right, so it goes Johnny. Right, I think I've got it right. Johnny, Bam, Ryan Dunn, Steve-O, Dave England, Danger Aaron, Preston, Wee Man. So yeah, that's all 8. That's all 8 of them. Because there was 8, now there's 7. Because obviously Ryan Dunn passing away, that makes it 7.
Yeah, but technically Bam's not in there either.
No, Bam's not in it, he's banned. But I also don't think he's banned. I think what Johnny said to him was, if you're taking alcohol and drugs, you're not allowed on. Because everyone
to stop.
Yeah, because everyone now.
That's saying he's still speaking to Steve-O, which we watched
he's still speaking
podcast,
to Johnny,
which was actually in 2020.
He's still speaking to Johnny though.
He's still speaking to Brandon Novak.
Oh yeah,
Brandon. He still speaks to him. Brandon was saying that he was in rehab and stuff, and he had gotten the privilege of a phone, but he wasn't using the phone for what he was supposed to be using at first, like calling family and stuff, so he got the phone taken off him again, and that's why they hadn't heard from him in a while. But
I think
Steve-O in the podcast said that he's looking better, he's doing better.
Oh yeah, he's definitely is.
He's clean off his drugs now.
I think if we can check his Instagram out, well, not on the fucking podcast, but I might check it out. I did hear that he was going back to skating, but he said in the podcast of Steve-O's that I used to do 40 tricks back
and
in
now
the
he's
day.
only got 10.
Yeah, he's only got 10 left. But that's because of age. You do lose your skills.
That's the thing, I feel like with all the shit that they've done in Jackass as well, like the injuries and stuff like that, it must be taking a toll on their bodies now. Like they're on their 40s at least.
Johnny's 10, 40, 49 now.
I'm sure he is 49. I'm sure that's what Steve-O said. Steve-O's what? If Bam's in his if Bam's in his 40s, then Steve-O's 6 years older, so he must be about 47 maybe.
Yeah.
But they're all getting to that age where their injuries are catching up to them real good.
But they never said that they'd quit, but that's why I think they brought in
Well, Johnny did say that he is working on documentaries and stuff, but he said that he doesn't care if there's got to be another Jackass. He's not really made up his mind yet. Which is fair enough. I mean, he's just brought out number 4, so it is.
I think I can say I do like Steve-O, but I like him now more than he was in Jackass. Like when he came to Jackass, he was like, "Oh, I've seen Steve-O."
That's the thing. As Steve-O said, the first 2 Jackasses, possibly even the first 3. No, it is the first 2. He was on drugs. He was hooked on cocaine, and he was a raging alcoholic.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
even Steve-O says himself, I was hard to be around.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, but I think it was not just that. It's just he was getting used quite a lot for like the butt chug stuff like that, and I was so used to every time I flicked on to fucking MTV, Steve-O was there, and I was like, oh, I've seen this one. I've seen that. And I got so used to seeing Steve-O. I was like, wait, how come Preston Lacey's not in it? as much, or like, why have I not seen anything of Wee Man?
That's the thing, I feel like with Jackass, like obviously they brought out newer stunts as well, but I feel like with Jackass, like the butt chugs, the fat jokes, like, and the Wee Man jokes, always, like, they get old after a while. If you're constantly doing them.
Like Steve-O, but like, I do like Steve-O, don't get me wrong, but he's not my
I
favourite.
tell you what, he's making fucking moves now, even still. Like,
But
he's still doing his world tour, he's still doing his podcast on YouTube, which he only started in 2020, I believe. It's called The Wild Ride.
Wild Ride, that's it.
So
No, but
check
I'm
that
just
out,
saying,
but-
like, he's not my favourite, but I like him, don't get me wrong.
That's the thing
him.
now, if we're not including Bam, obviously he's changed a lot since I was
But I'm saying,
fucking
I'll tell you
young
what would
like
be
that.
more entertaining is if it was Steve-O, Ryan Dunn, and Bam all doing a podcast together.
Ken, what I'd love to do,
Ryan is hilarious.
Ken, what I'd love to see, I'd love to see a reunion with everyone that's ever been in Jackass, minus Ryan Dunn obviously, because he...
Well, they did the tribute, so...
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I wish they would do a nowadays update with all of them. Like, how they're doing, like, a massive podcast with all of them in it.
I think I get what you mean, like a round table sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's actually, that is a good series anyone should watch. Round Table, where they get cast members all together.
I mean, they did day one, actually at the start of this year, where everyone for number 4 was in it. So Wee Man Preston, there was a lass there, I can't remember her name. Poopies,
That's all the new ones.
that's what I'm saying. They've done a cast collection, all the new ones for the new.
But I'm just saying, I would love to. It's sad about Ryan.
I tell you what, one person I'd love to meet out the Jackass crew is Poopies. He just seems
he's
so fucking
sweet.
stupid. But
He's
so
a sweet guy, but it's like, I feel bad for him because
he got bit by that shark.
he got. You should watch it. It's up on YouTube. It's
called Shark Week.
Shark Week with the Jackass crew.
Steve-O,
Steve-O,
Poopies, Chris, Pontius, and the other guy. I can't remember.
But he gets bit after coming off a wakeboard, so like
And
he got bit by a shark, and
He
that was
ripped
bad.
2 tendons, and even just now, so I think he was on the podcast a couple months ago, probably at the start of this year, and he can't move his hand like a normal person, like he can only move it slightly.
And he's very fragile apparently.
But they said that, I think it might have been last year he was on the podcast, they said that in August it should be fully healed, and it's been what, like 6 months since then?
Yeah, I think he can still do stunts, but
Well, he did say he was back skateboarding, or fucking surfing, but he couldn't stand up on the board yet because he need both hands to kind of push up,
but yeah,
and he can't use one.
It'll get stronger, but it'll still be fragile, so one slam on anything could break his arm. So I think what they're doing with him being part of the new Jackass crew is they'll probably give him stunts.
That's the thing, I actually think they filmed the new Jackass before Shark Week.
Yeah, they did. But I'm saying,
so I don't think he'll be doing stunts like that in a while, but
no, but I think they'll
hopefully it'll be strong enough for him to do some.
I think if it comes to Poopies and that, they'll probably give him like pranks like the boxing glove through the fucking hotel wall, something like that, or like give it with his strong hand because it's his right hand. So he's got his left hand for fucking, you know, the
but I'm sure he said he was
Bam
right-handed.
punch, what Bam used to do, where he punch him.
That's the thing, I didn't think it would be necessarily funny because Poopy did say in that podcast that he is right-handed, so it won't only be as powerful going with the left.
No, but
it will still be fucking good having Poopies in it and that.
But
Ken, what I actually feel bad about, Poopy's done Jackass, and he was on the podcast with Steve-O, and he was literally saying like he broke.
Yeah.
Like, he had to buy a new truck because he didn't have a car, so he couldn't get from A to B. But he was saying, like, he got, what, £1,500 like pounds or dollars for filming Jackass, but now, like, he's completely broke. And I feel like
not now.
That's the thing. I feel like that just kind of hit a wee bit home.
That was
because it seems like the rest of Jackass are doing so well.
Yeah, but think about it. Steve was
even Bam's still doing well, making his music and shit like that.
It's not music he's doing. He's doing skate videos, but not within.
Yeah, but he's brought out an album.
Yeah, but that was fucking years ago.
No,
CKY.
Actually, that was in 2020. So
CKY was not his band. That was his.
No.
Band. But yeah,
Steve said in that podcast that Bam has just sung on a new album called Eardrops. And
whatever. I don't.
But that was in 2020. So
to be quite fair,
he said that he spent 50k on it.
I'm not really. No offense, Bam, but I'm not really into your music. Like
that's thing. Like
Fuckface Unstoppable. There was one song called "I Fuck Myself," which was pretty hilarious, but I think he was doing that to
what's funny? No. Steve was rapping Creole.
Oh yeah, but we'll get into that in a next podcast.
Yeah, we've already been gone for an hour and a half, so
yeah.
Gonna wrap it up. We've still got a few more subjects to talk about, but we'll do that in the next one. Probably Wednesday. Wednesday's our next one.
Yeah.
So yeah, hope you enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.